During Donald Trump's visit to the UN, he apparently ran into some technical difficulties, and he handled it in his usual man of the way, totally cool way. Take a look.
President Trump, what happened with Chuck Schumer?
Are you going to push Zelensky for peace, President Trump?
President Trump, why did you cancel the meeting with Chuck Schumer?
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
Yeah, that's why we showed you the video first. That was a crisis. It stopped a little bit, and then you had to walk up. And if Melania hadn't been in great shape, she would have been hurt. How exactly? What were you worried that like that would have triggered the rapture and she would have hit the ceiling on the way? Like what exactly was going to injure you guys? I know that it did actually ruin Donald Trump's day because I'm sure he had not prepared to walk upstairs. And the fact that it stopped at the very bottom must have been salt in the wound, but it's just an escalator that stopped. You know what I would have done if it stopped? I would have paused for a half a second and I would have started walking up the stairs. But he is so rich and so entitled that like, how dare you? He nurses the grudge. He brings it up in a speech before world leaders. He's still talking about that. That's how much of an entitled, whiny little baby he is. And it's not enough for him that he just complains about it. His entire administration needs to make a literal federal case out of it. With Karoline Leavitt saying, if someone at the UN intentionally stopped the escalator as the president and first lady were stepping on, they need to be fired and investigated immediately. What would the investigation be? Let's say that it was a person at the UN that did it. What's the investigation? Hey, why'd you do that? I hate him. That's the investigation. By the way, that isn't what happened, but that's all that could have happened. And yeah, like, geez, the need to constantly believe that he's a victim, that you're all victims, and everybody's so unfair. What apparently ended up happening is that a member of Trump's team, part of the US delegation, set off the stop mechanism accidentally. It was his own people. It's like the perfect example of how the elite MAGA people think of the world. They step on a rake and then whine about Antifa. You guys caused it to stop, and even then, it's not actually a problem. You could just walk up the stairs. As Mitch Hedberg once said, that's the cool thing about an escalator. Even when it's broken, it's just stairs. You can just keep going up, stop whining. Anyway, Sharon, what do you make of all this?
I'm crying. Now I think there should be an investigation since you've learned the cause, the actual cause. Let's investigate it. Let's have hearings. Who's actually going to be in trouble for it though? I don't know. Listen, Melania is actually the villain in this story because she did what you suggested. She paused for about a second and then she just sprang up the stairs because she does look like she is in shape. He was furious and probably legit out of breath, okay? Because there's nothing he could do to save face. He could have stayed at the bottom, but it was too late. So really, come on, stop it. Stop it, but do investigate.
Yeah, it's so pathetic. Like, and again, this is the sort of thing where like if Obama or Biden had done this,
wow,
the five would eat it up. But instead, they have to distract. So don't talk about the fact that Donald Trump's day was ruined by having to go up a flight of stairs. Just talk about how we should bomb the entire building. Very responsible.
Did she really put that statement out about whoever did this, or was that fake?
Nope, that's not a deep fake. That's a real thing. This is her job.